Hello, hello, everyone. I hope that I am live. Let me check and see if I can tell. I don't know, but you guys let me know if I'm live. Hopefully, I am live. Good morning. Good morning. I want to say hi to everyone who's coming on replay. I realize that a lot of you will come on replay because life happens and we all just have to do what we can to learn when we can. I am constantly watching things on replay, so I totally get that. So I want to say hi to those of you who are here on replay. Please let me know that you're here. Say hello in the comments. I use StreamYard to record these. So that just means that you have to tell StreamYard that I can see your name so that I can see the comments that you give. So just if you'll click that, I think it's above on Facebook. I'm not sure where it is on YouTube, but we are recording live today in YouTube on my YouTube channel, Christy Varner, as well as in my free private Facebook group, Small Business Finance Simplified, and also on my Facebook profile. So I just want to welcome you this morning. My name is Christy Varner. I'm a profitability advisor and virtual CFO. So what does that mean? It means that in addition to having been a CPA for the past 25 years, it means that I'm passionate about helping you as entrepreneurs and small business owners to understand the money side of your business. I understand that there are a lot of words and it can feel really overwhelming. But I just want you to know that you can do it. You are one of the people that started your own business. You already had the wherewithal and the strength to try something new. And this is no different. It's just something that you need to learn. And once you learn it, you guys, data doesn't lie. And it's the golden insight to reveal to you how to make your business more profitable and how to help you get to achieve your goals. So I'm really, really passionate about that. I'm going to always speak in simple, everyday words and analogies because there's no reason to make this more complicated. And I'm here for you and I'm cheering you on. And if I use an acronym or something that you don't know, then tell me because my goal is to help you. That's why I do this. So today's topic is about getting where you're going means first you have to know where you're starting from. So if you were with us a couple of weeks ago, I'm doing a series called First Things First, and I showed you a roadmap to achieve your financial goals. And one of the things that we talked about is I sort of mapped it out and said, like, you have to set your goals and know where you are and then kind of reverse engineer. And I talked a little bit about that broadly. So I highly encourage you to go back and look at that if you haven't watched that video or heard that training yet. But today, we're going to dive into knowing where you are. First things first, you have to know where you are. And this is going to be a little bit more tactical. I'm going to do it as a basic overview, not in great detail, because you've got to first accomplish that small understanding and then we can grow to the bigger understanding, because I really want you to get this and to have these aha moments that if you just implement these simple habits, you are going to gain so much clarity and confidence in running your business. I know it. I've seen it so many times with my clients. So I'm here for you. I have my coffee in hand. Today's cup says, see the good. Would love to know what you're drinking. If you have a coffee, if you're a tea person, if you already have a cocktail, you may be watching this at 5 p.m. I don't know. Everybody's in different time zones. So this one does apply. Last week's didn't apply if you weren't in the US. This applies to you no matter where you are in the world. So welcome from wherever you are in the world. Let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. So achieving your goals requires more than just hard work and luck. It actually requires strategy. And I see this all the time. Entrepreneurs are working super hard to get where they want to go, but you're so busy working in your business that you don't even get to work on your business. And it's critical to have a strategy. So I want to explain to you, I coined this GPS. So you need to have your GPS because that helps us remember we're on a roadmap to success, okay? So the first thing, you need to know where you're going. You need to know your goal. And we're gonna dive into how to set goals like in more detail in a future training. So be sure to tune back in for that because your goals matter, and it's really important that it be your goal and not somebody else's goal. So that's the G is your goal. Your P is the pin. You know how you drop a pin to show where you're located to someone else, or on your iPhone if you have one and you do the map, it does the blue dot to show where you're starting from. So where you are is the P. You put your pin, and you got to know where you're starting. And then the S is the steps that you're going to have to take to get there. It's the strategy, and it's action. You guys, it's action steps to get there. So we'll dive into that too, because just like, you know, your GPS on your car shows you the route that you need to take to get from your pin where you are to your goal destination, there are strategies that we use in the financial world that will help you get from where you are to where you want to go. But that's for another week. For today, we're going to talk about how to know where we are, because if we don't know where we're starting from, then we can't actually get somewhere. So this may seem like a boring answer, but the first answer is that the P&L is the pin that you drop that shows you where you are in relationship to your goal. So a P&L is just, that's an accounting term, and it's an abbreviation for profit and loss statement. You'll also hear people call it an income statement for your company. So it covers a period of time. So that can be, you know, what was your profit and loss for 2020 for the whole year? It can be for a month. You could even do it for a week, but you usually don't. Usually it would be for a month, a quarter, or a year. And you can compare it. Like, you guys, this is historical data because it's what happened. It's the rear view mirror, which is what we need to know for deciding where we're starting from, right? So it records what happened in a time period. So the reason that I really thought this was really relevant is because when we're starting, we are going to have to talk about 2020. You're going to have to put that together for your tax purposes. I know a lot of you think that finance is just about taxes, but you guys, it is not. Taxes are important. And I do not want you to have to pay more in taxes than you owe. And I also don't want you to underpay, because that will get you in trouble. But what I want is for you to see that this finance data can actually give you so much more insight. So it's so worth it. So I call P&L a report card. Okay, it is a report card that shows you where you're shining, where you're doing really well. And then, just like when you were a little kid, you know, in elementary school, before they gave you A's and B's, then they would, you know, I think give you a check mark or an N for needs improvement. Who remembers getting an N for needs improvement? I think I got that for like talks too much. Okay, anybody else get N for needs improvement for talks too much? Oh, and I see there are comments. See, this is, I need to be looking here. I'm sorry about that. I'm just learning how to make all of this work. So I have my notes right next to me. So I have to log in. Oh, I love that. I thank you, Celie. It's fun to see you here. I'm glad to see. Oh, and Tony, you're here too. I'm so love that. You need to get more coffee. Yeah, girl, I always need coffee. And the GPS concept. Yes, absolutely. You guys, and just keep chiming in, because now I've got it on my phone so I can look too and see that. I just have to have my notes. So let me just say that if your financial statements aren't accurate, you guys, then you don't actually know where you're starting from. Okay, it's garbage in, garbage out. I say that to my clients all the time. It's important to know where you're starting from. And if you don't, you're setting yourself up for a giant headache when tax time comes too, right? You know, you have to know this stuff. So now that you know that you care about having your PIN be correct, your P&L, you're like, okay, Christy, yeah, but how? So first thing, I'm going to remind you, and I say this all the time, which is keep your business accounts separate from your personal accounts. I know this is a pain, but I'm just telling you it's going to simplify your life. And you guys, we are business owners. We are business owners. This is not a hobby, even if it's a side hustle, right? I get it that a lot of you, you are still working full time in another job, or you're still, doing a stay-at-home mom job, and you're also running your Etsy business or your coaching business or whatever that is as sort of a side thing. But this is a business, and we're going to take business deductions for our taxes. We're going to treat this like a business. So just go and get business accounts. And if you aren't sure how to do that, I did a training on that. So just if you're in the Small Business Finance Simplified private Facebook group, you can just Google or you can just search in the search bar for a training on entity structure, and that's where I talk about all of that. I also talked about it in the First Things First on goals. No, in the second one on 5 steps you can take now for your business. So, but that's really important. So I just always come back to that just to remind you, in case you haven't seen that training, in case no one's ever, been upfront with you. I'm always going to be like your positive cheerleader, but I'm telling you, I am obligated as a CPA to tell you straight up how things are. And I will always do that. I will do it with a smile, but I am going to tell you the truth because I owe it to you to tell you the truth. And I'm just telling you, open a business bank account. It's not that hard. And hopefully a lot of you already have that. So let me know if you already have that, and I can be excited for you and cheer you on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is record our income and expenses for the period. So you can do this by using accounting software. You can record it on a spreadsheet. Oh, I was looking to see if spelled that wrong. Sorry, guys. Spreadsheet, I was doing this late last night. Or even pen and paper. Like Nike says, just do it. You guys, don't stop making excuses. There is free software out there. You can use Excel or Google Sheets. You can make it really simple. I personally think QuickBooks Online is a really good tool for a lot of you. I encourage you to look at that. I have an affiliate code I can give you that gives you a discount if you want to look at that. But I like that. It's, very simple, intuitive software. And I'll talk more about QuickBooks Online and train on that a little bit at some point. As you get bigger, QuickBooks Desktop is really good. But for a lot of you, you don't need that yet. And honestly, if you are not in a place where you want to even, spend any kind of money at all on your accounting software yet, you can DIY this. You can use a spreadsheet. You can use pen and paper. Whatever it is, just do it. So you're also going to need to gather your bank and credit card statements to do this, because obviously that's where our money is flowing in and out of. So what we're going to do is you're going to group the money that you received and that you spent, okay? So the money that you received, so depending on, where you are in your business. So you may already have accounting software. If you already have accounting software, then you're simply going to run a report for your profit and loss statement for a period. You designate the period. So for instance, right now we're talking about planning for 2021. So maybe you want to run your January P&L. Like, let's just talk as if it's January. We're not going to run all of 2020, because I'm going to give you kind of a broad overview that's going to help you for just the basics. And then we'll talk another time about what you actually need to do to run, to make it be complete. But this is just for helping us drop the pin and know where we are versus where we're going. So you need to record your income. So for some of you, that's really easy because you invoice people and you get paid and you know exactly what your income is. So that's ideal. And that's, if you get paid via ACH, then that's great. There are no fees. It comes right out. But for instance, if you are getting paid via PayPal, for instance, I accept PayPal, they take a fee, right? Which makes sense. So if you only record, say you charged, $100 for your coaching, right? You charge $100 just for easy math here. And PayPal is going to pay you $97 because they're going to take out their, 2.9% fee plus 30 cents. So they're only going to pay you $97. So you want to be sure that you are looking at those statements too, because you want to capture the $100 that they actually paid you and the $3 as an expense. And you may say, why do I care, Christy? Because it all nets out to the same. I still only got $97. And that is true. But the $3 is an expense of your business. And we always want to properly reflect our income and our expenses. Why? Two reasons. Number one, it helps us analyze our expenses so that we can know, are we properly spending money? Are we spending the right amount of money? And also, some things are deductible with the IRS, right? So we need to properly record our income because we don't want to understate our income with the IRS. They don't think that's funny. And we need to record that expense. So even though it nets to the same, so you're going to be going through your bank statements and looking for all the money in. So if you have accounting software, you may already have that. QuickBooks Online pulls from all your statements. But if you don't, then just go to your bank account, go to your credit card statement, print those out, and look for the money coming in, and then compare the money coming in to, your PayPal or to your invoicing or whatever. Does that make sense? So let me know if you have questions. You guys, I am doing this training not for myself, but for you, okay? I already know this stuff. So my goal and my passion is to make this easier for you. So whether you're watching this live or on replay, drop your questions, tag me if you would, because then I will definitely see it and come back and answer your questions, because that's my goal. So Tony, you said, oh, hey, Janelle, glad you're watching too. I'm using Google Sheets to keep track of expense since there isn't income yet. Love that, love that. Thanks for sharing that, Tony. That's great. Google Sheets is awesome, right? Okay, that is totally doable. And let me just say I'm proud of you, because there's a lot of people who are doing big flat nothing. So that's how you do it. Take your business seriously. We are serious business owners, so you're going to do that. So this is going to be a quick snapshot of your operations. So what I talked about, and I should go back here. Let me go back to this one. So you're going to take your expenses. So for your expenses, you are going to need to look through your bank statements. You're going to need to look through your business credit card statements. And quite honestly, you may also need to look through your personal statements, because, in the beginning, especially, sometimes you end up ordering something on your personal credit card or whatever, right? But those are still business expenses. So it's not ideal that they're, not separate, but I'm just being real. I know how this is, and I know that this happens. So you want to go through and capture all of those expenses. So like in Tony's instance, she's going to do it on her Google Sheets. And what you're going to do is not write down you're going to have every single expense, because we do have to know all the expenses. But then what you want to do is categorize them into kind of broad categories, because what we're going to do is analyze those expenses that we're spending so that we can make decisions going forward. Remember, we talked about the action steps. The S in GPS is the action steps that we would take to make changes to get from where we are to where we want to go, from our pin to our goal. So you want to categorize those things. So, for instance, like, let's just say that you purchased a course. You also purchased a virtual conference that you were going to attend, and, some other sort of training, right? So in my mind, I have a category on my books called conferences and education, right? Because I'm a big believer in learning and education. I'm constantly learning. I hope you guys are too. I think that's why you're tuning in, is because you're trying to learn. So bravo to you for that. But so like I would categorize all of those together, because I really don't need it to be separate, that I went to a conference and I bought a book, right? Like I'm forever buying books on Amazon or wherever to make myself more knowledgeable in different areas. So I would categorize those all the same, right? So what you want to do is end up with basically not more than probably 10 categories across your books. So you're going to take your giant list of all the things that you spent for the year, And you're going to categorize that all down into like these 10 things. So say you had, utilities, right? So just like on a home, like you'd have, water, electric, gas. So you may decide that you want to put your landline and your cell phone into telephone, right? Because those are the same to you. So whatever that is, I hope that makes sense. But you're just getting, and the categories at this point, this is just for you, you guys, this is for you. So after you do that, revenue, which is sales, so the money coming in minus the money going out is expenses going out, is your profit. And what this does is it gives you a quick snapshot. So this is not perfect. We're not talking, like we haven't talked about depreciation and all these other kind of accounting concepts that do matter for your taxes, because you always want to have your books prepared accurately for your tax advisors. But this is from an operational standpoint. This is what the information that you'll have will help you to analyze things. And for your basic analysis, now we're going to be looking back, and you want to be looking at your expenses in particular and saying, what percent did I spend on each category? Does that make sense? Like, of the total amount that I spent, did I really need to spend that much on education? When I'm spending so much time investing in learning and education, then I'm not spending the right amount of my total expenditures on things that are actually producing income. One person that I talked to recently did this and found out that she was spending 58% of her money on advertising. Sounds high to me. I'm just saying, and she made adjustments, because you don't realize that until you know. And you can see, I hope that this is like an aha light bulb moment for you, that as soon as you do this for January of 2021, we just finished the month, you guys, just, it's not that much data. It's 4 weeks. Like, once you do this, then after February, you will do this again, and you can compare February to January. And then you'll be able to see, like, oh, do I always spend that much? Is that where I wanted to spend it? What things surprised me about where I spent things? Do I want to make changes? Because remember, when I talked about the GPS, the action steps are steps that we are going to take. They're action, but they're steps that we're going to measure and make changes based on, okay? It is never from here to here, just automatic, like straight line, I wish, right? But we know it actually goes like this. It's ups and downs, right, to get there. So we've got to be willing to make adjustments. That's what successful business owners do. But you can't make adjustments unless you know what things need to be adjusted. And just a shot in the dark, I mean, yes, you know your business. I'm not saying you don't know your business, but can you see how this data will be so much more helpful? Like, you won't have to just guess. Oh, Janelle, yes, I have to check personal cards too. Yes, there's always charges there. You guys, I mean, no one is perfect, and I get that too. So smart. Oh, Celie, I put a chunk of health insurance on my personal credit card by accident and was glad I caught it. Yes, absolutely. And we're going to talk, you guys. I did a training already, and I will do another one about, those tools that I talked about, those action steps and strategies. That's where my passion is. I will absolutely be happy to help you, get your finances in order, but really my passion is strategy and helping you get those steps in place. But like for cash flow and cash projection, it's critical to know which things are coming up. Like in May, my insurance I pay in May for my business. I only pay it once a year. So I have to know that for my cash flow. But that's a topic for another day. So let's keep going on this. So if you're saying like, oh, Christy, okay, I hear you and I know I need to do this, and I'm still like, I still don't want to do it. Like, it's not fun, or I'm confused, or whatever. Drop the raise hand emoji if that is how you're feeling about this, because I know that's real. But remember, anything good is worth the effort it takes, right? So the outcome, remember the outcome, oh, I'll show you the little thing. The outcome is that you want to be able to climb to the top of this mountain. So you have to assess which person you are on this mountain. That's our pin. That's what we're doing today. We're trying to assess which person we are, because that's going to affect our strategy and what we do going forward, right? Because if we don't know which person we are on this step, then we can't get there. So it's totally worth it. Oh goodness, sorry, I took myself off the screen. So I offer accounting accountability every Thursday from 4 to 4:30 p.m. Central. It's a perk for my Small Business Finance Simplified group. So if you're not in that group, come over and join us. It's victoryadvisory.com/FB group. And within that group, I offer this 30 minutes every week, and it's a Zoom, and I will be there and I will be working and you work. And it may be that we're just silent for 30 minutes, but you can calendar it and you can count on it, and you can grab your stuff and you will be so proud of yourself. Maybe you'll need to work for an hour a week, but if you just schedule that 30 minutes, it's great. You know what? Here's the extra perk that I am giving you. I'm a 25-year CPA, and I'm going to be sitting there, and I am happy to answer your questions. So you guys take advantage of that. When you are like, I don't even know how to start, I don't know, Christy, where do I categorize this expense? Whatever that question is, I'm here to help you. And so I want you to know that, and I want you to take advantage and to come. So I'll be there this afternoon, as I will next week, whatever week, just come. So this framework is the basics of what you need to do to produce accurate financial statements. This is the golden insight that you need to become profitable and achieve your goals. This is only the framework. There is a lot more that we will do to produce accurate financial statements, but this is where we're going to start. You need to do this for your tax purposes in way more detail, and in more detail to get a more accurate strategy. But this is basic stepping stones just to show you where you are today, okay? Where you are today will affect how you can get where you're going. Just like I showed you that picture of the guy on the mountain, you got to know if you're this guy or this guy, right? Because it affects our strategy. It affects what we're going to do. And so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to tell you something. And also, numbers don't lie. So the revenue number, when you see it, you're going to be like, wow, okay. And we're going to talk about revenue going forward, which is your sales and your product mix. And sometimes I have to say hard things to my clients. Like, I know you really enjoy doing this part of your, business. You really enjoy this kind of coaching or this kind of whatever, but it's not profitable. So let's talk about what we need to do to make that profitable, or maybe we just need to give that up because it's taking too much time relative to how much money you're bringing in. But these numbers, once you get them out and you get this financial habit in your life, calendar 30 minutes to an hour a week just to capture this. Can you see how fast this will be once you get into this mindset and this rhythm? It's going to be golden. I'm super excited for you guys, and I hope that this is encouraging to you, and I hope that you'll show up. So here I am. I'm trying to get better. I love that. Great to check each month instead of waiting until each quarter. Yes, Janelle, because the thing is like, I call this the one strategy with my clients. And so when I work with clients, we talk about like your big goals. And you guys, the name of my company is Victory Advisory Services. And it's because I want to emphasize to people that victory is not just a profit number. Yes, profit's important, and you are in business to make money for sure and to help other people, but you're also in business so that you can have a life that you want to have, to spend time with your family, to, be able to get the vacation home, to not wake up and have to check your bank account every day and be panicked about, having to shut down or whatever, right? There's so many reasons that we're in business beyond just that. But I want you to know that you can absolutely DIY this, okay? There are plenty of people who DIY this. And if you do not have, money to spend right now, You can do this. You can watch my trainings. You can jump into the Facebook group, Small Business Finance Simplified, and ask your questions. You can get on YouTube. You can learn everything in the world that you need from Google or YouTube. But I also want you to know that if you want help, then please reach out to me. My email is Christy@victoryadvisory.com. And I also can be reached via DM or whatever, but I would love to help you with that if you need the help. But I just want to cheer you on that you can absolutely do this. And not only can you do this, you want to do this, because we're trying to summit, you guys. We're trying to get to the top of the mountain. You're trying to get to your destination, the goal that you set for yourself. You want to get there, and you can absolutely do this. You can absolutely do this. It's one step at a time. It's systematic. Your competitors are not doing this. They're not listening. Their head in the sand, not doing this. You are going to set yourself apart and set yourself ahead by taking control of your finances. You are going to feel more confident as a business owner when you have the clarity and the understanding of what your numbers mean and how they can get you from where you are today to where you're trying to go. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please share it with others. Please let me know what questions you have and topics you would like me to address, because like I said, I am doing this for you guys. I hope to see many of you in Accounting Accountability. And also, I'll be back again next week at the same time for another weekly training. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time.